Today we're going to unpack a really powerful and, let's be honest, often controversial symbol, the thin blue line. We're going to explore what it represents and the really tough ethical spot it creates when an officer's loyalty to their partners crashes right into their sworn duty to the public.
And really, this is the whole question, isn't it? It's the core of what we're talking about today. This isn't some abstract idea. It's a conflict that plays out in the real world, on the streets, in squad cars. So where do you draw the line between solidarity and silence?
Okay, so first things first, what is the thin blue line? Well, on the surface, it's most often seen as this protective barrier. The idea is that the police are what separates an orderly society from total chaos. It's a pretty powerful image of stability, for sure.
But here's where it gets complicated. The symbol kind of has two different meanings. While the public sees a line of protection, for many within law enforcement, it's really a line of solidarity. It represents this incredibly deep, powerful bond that ties officers together. Now, these two meanings can exist at the same time, but as we're about to see, they can also run right into each other.
And that leads us right here to this idea of loyalty being a double-edged sword. We're going to dig into why this intense solidarity is so crucial for police work, but also how that exact same loyalty can become seriously dangerous.
To really get the dilemma, you have to appreciate that in policing, loyalty isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a core requirement. I mean, officers depend on each other for their actual survival in some really high-stakes situations. That bond creates the trust you need for the split-second decisions and acts as a vital support system in a job that is, uniquely stressful. It's the bedrock of good teamwork.
But that very same loyalty can become a huge problem when it turns into what people call a code of silence. And this isn't some abstract concept. We're talking about looking the other way when there's excessive force, or changing an official report to protect a partner. It's about staying quiet when you see something unethical. The pressure to conform is immense. You could be ostracized, labeled a rat, or maybe worst of all, left without backup when you need it most. And that's the moment the line gets crossed, when protecting your partner becomes more important than protecting the public.
So, how is an officer supposed to navigate this? Well, that's where we kind of shift from the practical to the more philosophical. In this section, we're going to look at this clash between an officer's sworn duty and this unwritten code through the lens of a few classic ethical frameworks.
You can look at this problem in a few different ways. If you're a deontologist, for example, you'd argue that duty is absolute. The law comes before your partner, period. A utilitarian would look at the outcome and say, hey, covering up misconduct is way more harm to society in the long run by destroying trust. Virtue ethics is all about character. What does a good, courageous officer do? And then you have the ethics of care, which tries to balance that loyalty you feel to your colleagues with the responsibility you have to the community. So they all take different paths, but they kind of all point to the same place. In the end, duty has to win.
So let's zoom out now and look at the bigger picture. Because this internal struggle, it isn't just a thought experiment. It has massive, real-world consequences for the relationship between the police and the communities they are sworn to serve.
And honestly, the stakes could not be higher. Every single time misconduct gets hidden behind that wall of silence, the bridge of public trust gets weaker. And that trust is everything. It's the foundation of police legitimacy. Without it, people stop cooperating, and it becomes almost impossible for officers to do their jobs effectively. This is why transparency and accountability aren't just buzzwords. They are essential for the whole system to even work.
So what's the solution? Well, it has to be a systemic approach. It all starts at the top, with ethical leadership setting the tone. That means creating really clear policies for reporting misconduct, and this is key, actually protecting the officers who come forward. It also means having systems in place to intervene early when behavior becomes a problem. The ultimate goal here is to build a culture where integrity isn't just some nice idea, it's the only acceptable option.
We'll end by turning the question back to you. Just for a second, put yourself in that position. You see your partner, someone you respect, someone you might even trust with your life, cross a serious line. What do you do? Think about the ripple effects of that decision on your career, on your own sense of who you are, and on the trust your whole community places in you. There are no easy answers here, and that's exactly what makes the thin blue line one of the most difficult ethical challenges there is.